Have you ever engaged in a serious debate over which is better, Harry Potter or Lord of the Rings? Have you ever played Smash or Pass using only characters from Star Wars and Marvel movies? If you answered yes to any of these questions, we have the podcast for you. Listen to The Steam Gentlemen, the podcast where an expert panel convenes to ask the questions about pop culture and social commentary that other podcasts are afraid to ask. Listen to The Steam Gentlemen on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Ladies and gentlemen, Wrestling Fans International Association is back. That's right, the premier fan club association of the 1970s and 1980s has been revived and is back in business. Join today. It's free at thewfia.org. That's thewfia.org. You can also join us on Facebook at facebook.com/groups/WFIA 1969. Welcome back, everybody, to the 1987 Supermod. I am your host, as always, Brad Drake, and this is the World Wrestling Federation. And tonight, everybody, the WWF is in Olympic Center Arena in Lake Placid, New York, and we are on live event tour date number 133. That's right, the house show loop or the live event tours continues. We are off television. This is a house show. Let's check our absent workers here, everybody, and it's nobody except what we expect to be out. Our backstage incidents. Moolah got into it with Bruno Sammartino. He said she didn't pick up her share of the rental car. Sammartino says she will pay the full cost and reimburse her travel partners. Wow. Bruno has ruled. And looks like we got some protege work here between Chief Strongbow and Mario Mancini, and also some protege work here between Ken Patera and Al Navarro. All right, everybody, let's take a look at our card for this evening. In our opener here, we're going to see Debbie Combs against Sherri Martel. We're going to see Jose Estrada and Johnny Rodz against the Bolsheviks. Omar Atlas is going to mix it up with Ravishing Rick Rude. Pat Patterson is going to take some lumps for the Ultimate Warrior. Scott Casey is going to be in there against Bam Bam Bigelow. Outhouse Jack, also known as Outback Jack, will face Mr. Wonderful Paul Orndorff. We're going to see Greg Valentine in there against Brutus, the Barber Beefcake. Hercules and Billy Jack Haynes will continue their feud. Dino Bravo is going to mix it up with Jake the Snake Roberts. And then our main event, everybody, a very exciting tag team match as the Killer Bees, Jumpin' Jim Brunzell and B. Brian Blair, will face Axe and Smash of Demolition. Everybody, you'll see an asterisk before the number of 133. That's because the show really happened, but there's no card available. So I have created this card based on a combination of all the other live events taking place that evening. So with that said, everybody, let's get to booking. And here comes that stupid Norton antivirus thing up as usual. And we're going to open up here 8 minutes. Combs versus newcomer Sherri Martel. And Sherri Martel actually came into the WWF here as a babyface. She would go on to defeat Fabulous Moolah for the World Women's title. And we have her still listed as a heel. It really doesn't matter. She and Debbie Combs would put on some really good matches together, though. So that's why we're having this match. As far as women's matches go, I don't know if the crowd necessarily cared in the WWF at this time about heel and face separation. All right, Estrada and Rodz are in there against the Bolsheviks. Another 8-minute bout here. Remember, we've expanded to 10 matches on each card. And here is the very well-experienced team of Estrada and Rodz. And here are the mighty Bolsheviks. They are a couple of really big dudes, no doubt about it. Boris Zhukov is going to get the win here, everybody, for our team. And this one is not our team, but the Russian team. And this one is in the books. Omar Atlas is in there against Rick Rude. And Atlas is going to do what he does best at this point in his career. And he is going to lose to Rick Rude. Rick Rude, of course, is managed by Bobby the Brain Heenan. And let me add that we kept that opening match open-ended, so it doesn't matter to me who wins that one at this point. All right, Rick Rude, of course, is going to get the win here, everybody. Omar Atlas is up there in age, but he's still very serviceable. Here's that stupid Norton antivirus thing again. I'm tired of it. It always seems to pop up when we're broadcasting here, and of course, I'm not going to scrap this and start all over. I couldn't anyway because we've already started with TEW here. All right, so Rick Rude is the victor here. Up next, Patterson, who's winding down his in-ring career. He's only months away from in-ring retirement here. He is going to face the Ultimate Warrior, who really was still going by the Dingo Warrior at this point, but do any of you really care about that? I know I don't. All right, here's Pat Patterson. I'm not exactly sure when the Warrior made the transition over to Ultimate Warrior. Could probably look it up and it wouldn't take that long, but all right, Warrior with the victory here. And we'll have Strongbow be our road agent. All right, so that one is set. 10 minutes. That's a long time for the Warrior to work, but he's learning here. All right, Scott Casey and Bam Bang Bigelow are up next. Not Bam Bang Bigelow, but Bam Bam Bigelow. So we have Casey versus Bigelow. And Scott Casey, of course, is going to do the favor for newcomer Bam Bam Bigelow. For those of you that may have been too young or not on the earth yet, Bam Bam Bigelow was a really big deal when he came to the WWF. They took their time. He worked the house show loops for a long time, and then he was on TV, and they really strapped a rocket ship to him. I think Bammer was only like 23 or 24 years old at this time. He was very young, and they really made him look like $1 million, and I think had high hopes for him. I don't know what happened, what the falling out was, but obviously it wasn't bad enough because Bigelow would return back to the WWF at least twice after this. So I'm not sure what the problem was, but as a little kid, watching Bam Bam Bigelow, I was blown away by how well he could move. Now as an adult looking at it, you see like the he looked like a heel. He absolutely looked like a heel. He had a mean face like a heel, but there was something about him, and I loved when they had Humperdinck with him when I was a kid. I thought that was the coolest thing on earth. And, you know, me being a little kid and not knowing any better, the movie He-Man had come out, and it had that weird character in it, and Humperdinck reminded me of that. And I always thought that that was like the WWF copying He-Man at the time. Little did I know, of course, that Humperdinck was around for 20 years plus before this. And just funny things you remember as a kid. So Paul Orndorff gets the win here over Outhouse Jack. Outhouse Jack has been reduced to doing enhancement work at this point in time. And up next, we have Greg Valentine and Brutus Beefcake. And these are former World Tag Team Champions together. 14 minutes, so here we go. Greg Valentine. Here is Brutus Beefcake. And we're going to have Beefer get the win here because we need some more babyface wins on this card. We're going to do this by botched interference. So it'll still keep the okay, so it's Greg Valentine. This will still keep the feud between Johnny V and Brutus Beefcake hot. And here is Johnny V. So Johnny V will accidentally hit Greg Valentine instead of Brutus Beefcake. Probably a situation where Valentine is holding Beefcake's arms. Beefcake ducks, and Valentine hits him. I'm sorry, Johnny Valiant hits him with something instead of Beefer. And him, of course, is being Valentine at this point. I think we're at 16 minutes for this next match. We are. Here we go. We have Hercules versus Haynes. I'm going to leave this one open-ended. Let the AI decide who wins this one. So here is Hercules, and here is Billy Jack Haynes. Open-ended. Up next, we have the semi-main, which is Bravo versus Roberts. This one's going to go 18. And Roberts really could do no wrong at this point. He was a megastar in the WWF, ridiculously over with the fans, very well loved, and Roberts is going to get the win here. And of course, you hear the ignorant comments of Jake Roberts should have been world champion, and we've gone through that before. No, Jake Roberts shouldn't have been, and that's why he wasn't, because he wasn't dependable. All right, Roberts with the W here, everybody. Here comes our main event, a big tag team bout. It's going to go 25 minutes. And we are going to have the Killer Bees in there against Demolition. These two teams have put on excellent matches around the country and into Canada, and this one will be no different. We are going to make this one an epic. And I am going to leave this open-ended. We're going to let the AI decide who's going to win this one. All right, everybody, we're at 149 minutes. So we almost have we have just over a 2.5-hour show. So the fans are getting their money's worth here. Let's go ahead and start the show and see what happens. And there we go. Sherri Martel gets the win over Debbie Combs with that sleeper hold. 68 and a 54 gets us a 65. And nice score for two ladies wrestlers. Very good score. All right, Estrada and Rodz against the Bolsheviks. And, of course, the Bolsheviks get the win with that double body slam. And Nikolai's injury is taking a toll. We only get a 60 on this match, but that's okay. We're getting Zhukov and Volkov some experience together. Omar Atlas against Rick Rude. Rick Rude gets the win with that Rude Awakening. Good stuff. Pat Patterson versus the Ultimate Warrior here. Warrior gets the win. Red text of doom all over the place. Patterson's still putting up a nice score at 64, and he is showing declining physical ability. All right, up next here we have Casey and Bigelow. Bigelow with a nice 74 score. We get green for chemistry there between Bigelow and Humperdinck, and they were good together. I'm telling you, as a kid, even though I thought Oliver Humperdinck was the guy from He-Man, they really did have good chemistry together. Even though, being an adult now and knowing what I know, it was odd to see Humperdinck as a babyface, but I thought he nailed it in that role. It was fun watching him and Bigelow together. 69 overall for this one. Good score for a very short match. All right, up next we have Outback Jack against Paul Orndorff, and Orndorff wins with that pile driver, 59 overall, 68 and a 35. And Orndorff's injuries are hurting him here. Up next here we have Valentine and Beefcake. And there we go, that Johnny V and Beefcake feud continues, 78 and a 72. We land a 79. It's a good show here. Good match. So sleeper hold from Beefcake gets the win. I would imagine that situation, though, no hair was cut because the manager would have pulled out. Johnny V would have pulled Greg Valentine from the ring before hair could be cut. All right. Hercules and Billy Jack Haynes, 76 and an 82 somehow gets us a 75 here, and we definitely have a TEW screw job going here, considering we have Bonus City across the board here, and somehow we get a 75 with the scores of 76 and 82. That's the TEW screw job, everybody. Up next here, Dino Bravo and Jake Roberts, 87 and a 76 gets us an 82. I'll buy that one. I'll take it. Dino Bravo was penalized for stamina. Dino Bravo was in good shape and was known for wrestling longer matches. Anyway, all right, here comes our main event. Outstanding score of 94. And the Killer Bees surprise me here and get the win with the Bee Stinger. 94 overall. Great score. Two very, very good tag teams. Now, I'll admit this score is a little bit high for these two teams in 1987. I agree with that, and that's why we fixed things up in 10.1. But regardless, Two very hot teams, two very good teams. Outstanding score for the main event here. Good stuff. Let's see if there's any takeaways here. Inconsistency is the only one, and this BS with chemistry with Smash and Mr. Fuji, which is ridiculous. But look at that bonus across the board here, everybody. All right, that one is going to do it for us, and we are going to actually point out Debbie Combs here and Sherri Martel. They both had an excellent match here. Great performance, and I'd also like to point out Jake Roberts. No, I'm going to point out Greg Valentine. Greg Valentine had a good match too. We're going to make that speech. Debbie Combs is pleased. Sherri Martel is pleased. Greg Valentine is pleased. And Brad Drake is pleased. And a good show here. All right, we are moving on from Lake Placid over to Uniondale tomorrow in the game world, 2 days from now. For those of you following the channel, that one's going to see the Rougeaus challenging the Hearts in the main event for the World Tag Team title. Ooh, Tommy Zank has landed with World Organization of Wrestling. All right, let's check this out here. Don Marie is going to NWF. That's fine. Jim Young, that's fine too. Lack of big names. BS. And let's check our incoming here. And we've got Shirley Black. Good stuff. We are going to use Shirley Black as Ladies Enhancement. So we go ahead and plug her in there. Oh, clicked on the wrong thing here. And like I said before, we are going to the Nassau Coliseum in Uniondale, New York, up next. Take a quick look around here. Adrian Street has won a title. The ICW Light Heavyweight title, fair enough. What did All Japan have going on here? Road Warriors over Choshu and Yatsu. They still retain the International Tag Team title. Tenru over Kabuki. Good stuff. It's a good card. Overall, this is a good card. Blanco brothers are still the PWF World Tag Team Champions. Carl Van Steiger still doing his thing here. He's 46 years old. I know I put him into the game. All right. Let's see anything from Crockett here. Nothing. Looks like Crockett had the night off. So that's going to do it for us, everybody, for this one. Thank you for tuning in. For those of you that are new to the channel, please make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you leave a message below. Let us know you found the channel, what you think of it so far. For those of you looking for more, you can find it over on Patreon, patreon.com/PowerCast Network. For just $5, you will get access to all of our shows early and YouTube ad-free. You will also get access to all of our spreadsheets, version 10.1 of the Supermod, and so much more. Check it out today, everybody. Patreon.com/PowerCast Network. Don't forget, everybody, we are on social media, Facebook.com/groups/1987 Supermod. You can also find us over on Reddit under the subreddit of TEW 2020 Friends. We're also on Discord under 1987 Supermod. And make sure that you check it out today. Wrestling Fans International Association, the WFIA.org. Thank you, everybody. We'll see you next time.